Hello everyone, welcome to another session on spectrum. Okay, so in this session I'm going to start with the poem Turmeric. Okay, so it's like you can go through the poem, you can go through the introduction part and try to understand, try to have a better understanding of it. I am not trying to get into every detail of the book because we don't have that leisure of having a long video. If at all I sent a long video, you will not be that happy to listen to it. So I thought like I'll make my video as brief as possible, and so that all the other readings you can do it all by yourself. Clear? So we are going to start with the poem. The poem is Turmeric by K. Sachidanandan. K. Sachidanandan needs no explanation. You know that he is a very popular, or you can say renowned Malayalam poet and critic. Okay, so that's it. You can in with regard to every chapter, in the from the introduction part, you can, if there are some works which are like very important works, you can remember the name of those works. Then if the writer has got any prestigious awards, you can make a note of that. That's the only thing that you have to remember from the introduction. But there is no need, this is a general English paper, and there is no need to get into every detail. Like they might have given you a long list of works, okay, or by the author. You don't have to study all those things because you are after all not a literature student. After all you are not a literature student. Yes. So come back. So that's one point that I want to discuss here. Is like the poem is by K. Sachidanandan. Now next is like in the introduction part, as I have told you, the section that we actually deals with up here is about globalization. So naturally the poem has to do something with the concept called globalization, okay, which we will discuss towards the end of the poem, or you can say end of the discussion. We will have a kind of a better discussion on the poem, or you can say on the concept called globalization. First we'll just keep in our mind that yes, it has something to do with globalization. That's it. Clear with that? So we'll stop there. Now you read the introduction part, and if you find anything, any concept or word that you find difficult, you can definitely message me. I will try to look into that, or I'll address it for sure. Okay, so we'll start the poem. If you don't have the textbook with you, I have already attached a copy of the poem along with the video in the Google Classroom, so you can download it and you can read it. So once the Unniyarcha of subsoil, the urban beauty who smuggles gold under her skin, the golden shoes of the princess, transformed by a magician into a plant, the dust on the feet of the sacred groves, the sunlight of the holy designs on courtyards, the nectar of immortality, the serpent king's stake, the cool moon of moist faces, the tender touch of earth, on the cheeks pierced by trident in divine frenzy, and the torn forehead of the dancing oracle, the other yellow shore of venom, the golden heroine of the kitchen's platter, the yellow clad fragments of curries, the sweet scented presence that followed us from the labor room to the bridal chamber, and from the bridal chamber to the death rites. Full stop. It's till then it's like a one single, there's no full stop as such. So it's like one single thread of ideas that we see till there. And next is like it's a kind of a couplet, like two lines. Now an expensive cosmetic cream trapped in tubes and sold in the supermarket. So this is the irony that he discusses in the poem. I'll discuss the poem in detail, but this is the irony. Turmeric has got infinite possible significance, or you can say importance, in Indian culture, or you can say like in science, okay, or you can say in culture in general. It has got so many significance, so many importance, relevances there, yet it is just made into what? One single thing, and that is a cosmetic cream trapped in tubes and sold in the supermarket. So it's just about Vico turmeric now. No, not just. I didn't mean to a controversial statement and all. I didn't mean that. I just said. So this is the problem with globalization. You are, you have immense possibilities with you, but you are just reduced to one single thing, and that is what? You are just a market. Okay, India has got different cultures, India has got different traditions, India has got different. This is the very message of globalization. Okay, so you can say that no matter what your identity is or how diverse your culture is, and I'm talking about Indian culture, how diverse your your cultural background is, none of these things are important. What is important is like you are a market. You're getting it. So you are just reduced into one identity. With regard to a person, you can say that you are just reduced into a number, okay, in the register, whether you're working or not. That's it. You're getting it. Call centers. I'm not saying anything against any of these institutions for the matter, but you can say that globalization is not looking into the immense possibilities of what, of you as the person. Rather, they try to fit you into something else. And that is why trapped in tubes. You're getting it. What exactly you are good at, how good you as a mathematician, how good you as an engineer, none of these things are important. You are just sent into some place to take some data, that's it, and you are paid somewhere around 20,000 or 25,000 bucks, that's it. Okay, and you are paid, you are doing that job till the time they need you, and after that they'll just throw you out. So this is what is happening right now. You are trapped into something, and they are telling you like this is you, and you are only supposed to do this, nothing more and nothing less. And that's it. You are trapped into something. Okay. So this is what globalization is in fact offering us. Hmm? So that's about the first kind of introduction. We'll continue in the next session. We'll go line by line. Okay. Till then, take care.